Hello everyone, hope you can all hear me. I'm Samuele inventory expert, and this is the topic of today. Before to jump into the topic, I would like to set you up in a idea scenario. Your cousins, Mark Demo and Michel Admin, always talked about Odoo and how in their company, interior design, they were able to scale up and continue with their businesses. After many years, you also decide to jump into this project, and you create your own company, eco-friendly packaging, serving B2C and B2B customers. Your company is growing, your customers are happy, your employees are engaged, and your vendors are helping you in supporting on this project. But after some time you realize that the effort that you're putting into this project is not giving you the results that you're expecting. You start to question if you purchase too much of the stock, if it's taking too much of the time for your operations, and if you're really performing as you wished. Well, in order to understand and analyze this hypothesis, you need some indicators, something that is going to help you to proceed and confirm or not this hypothesis, if you need to improve in some areas or not. All these questions are just the tip of the iceberg, and you start really to question about different parts of your operation and if you are really performing as you wished. This is really a turning point for your company, because you are shifting from a gut feeling approach to your business to something that is more standardized, is more data-driven. And in order to answer to these questions, you need something that is standard, that can be replicated and can be evaluated over time. You need key performance indicators. Well, in order to do this, you need to do many operations, and you need a software that is supporting you for this. And that's why today I want to explain you how Odoo can help you in this part. It can help you to drive you in your excellence for the supply chain and the data analytics. I said I'm an inventory expert, I have expertise in inventory, but before to join Odoo, I was working for a big organization, and I was in a data analytics team, and everyone needed data, from finance, from operations, from other logistics department, from customer service. Everyone was asking for data, and this was simple. Well, actually, it wasn't. It was really a nightmare. You needed to collect data from different systems, put them into spreadsheets or create new visualizations. It was taking a lot of time. And then someone was changing just the name of a product or an operation, and you had to recompute everything again because the right mapping was not done. It was really a nightmare. It was really not allowing the end users to take the right decisions and get the right insights for the operations. Again, today with Odoo, we can do much more. We can have the integration of a software that is helping you to work on the operational side, but also to step back and give these insights in this umbrella view about your business. But before to show you what we did for version 18, I want to show you what is already available in Odoo today. Let's jump into the database. And as you can imagine here in inventory, you can already have the possibility to group your operations by specific information. For example, here I have 2 warehouses, and I want to group my operations split by warehouse. With these nice views here, we can see already all the operations that are in red because they are already late, in ready for today, or in green that need to be done for the future. And I can decide to group this as I want, for example, type of operation, and this could be a nice representation that you can put already in your warehouse to show what needs to be done in a specific day or for specific operation type. But let's go a step forward. A step more can be also to analyze your current stock, maybe in a pivot table. Maybe you want to analyze your product categories and the split by specific location. So let's do this. Let's take by location. And here you can have a nice overview about all your stock split by the different locations. If I want, I can also deep dive and enter and see directly the stock that is in this sub-location for each subcategory. Let's go back here. Let's say that for the sake of the exercise, I want just to group by product category, and I want to have 2 KPIs one next to each other, the quantity and how much I'm reserved. And actually, I would like to sort this by quantity. So in few clicks, I can have an overview about all my stock by category and what is already reserved. If I like this view, I can save it as favorite, show it for later and share it with other colleagues. But for this exercise, I would like to put it into a spreadsheet. Let's put it here, let's confirm. And here I'm creating my own spreadsheet so that I can analyze these KPIs over time. Maybe in 1 week I will have a look and a need for this same KPI, so that I can already have it here. Now let's go back and let's make something more visual. go back to inventory, reporting, locations, and here on the graph, and I want to have a split maybe by location this time. And maybe I want to sort by ascending in this way, and just showing the quantities. I also would like to analyze the two information at the same time, so let's put it in another graph here in the same spreadsheet. Now we give stock by location and category. And if I want, I can also change here the design and change stock by category. Let's say I'm happy with this. I can put it more in the center, I can put it here, and I already have some of the KPIs that I can analyze maybe in 1 week, in 1 month, or at the end of each period. If something is standard and I want to share it with some other people in my company, I can add it here to dashboard. I can select where I want to show this. For example, let's put it under logistics because we're talking about logistic data, and I can share with a specific access group. So now in few clicks I created my own dashboard, something that I can use over and over again. And let's say that I want to analyze here exactly where this data are coming from. I can jump into directly the category of trays, and here I have directly the list of the stock that is available for trays category. I want to go back here, and I will have this under my dashboard. Here is the last one that we created. And again here, you can jump into directly, starting from a pivot table or from a graph, directly into the data, and have a look here on the specific categories. That's going to be great because it's something that you can set it up at the beginning. You have the direct link between the raw data that are in the backend, so in your ERP, in Odoo in this case, and directly the visualization that are going to allow you to do the right analysis for your business. But this is what is already available in Odoo. You were able to do a lot of things like this. The spreadsheet application improved a lot, so I really encourage you to follow, if you didn't already, the recording of these previous talks about spreadsheets and dashboards, or even to continue to follow the talks in the next days. But now I want to show you what is available and what is already standard for you in version 18. Together with the team, we focus on understanding which could be the KPIs, the generic KPIs that everyone in the supply chain world should understand. Understanding about how much stock I have, understanding which operations are taking most of the time, how many operations I'm doing much more than usual, and who is assigned to what. For this purpose, we created 4 new dashboards that are going to be now in standard in Odoo. And each new database is going to have this available already under the logistic part of the dashboards. I would like to start with the first dashboard. Imagine you are a warehouse manager or an employee that is working in a warehouse. And you want to understand in few clicks how many operations you still have to do that are maybe late, that are maybe need to run today, or that maybe are planned for the future. And you want to have a split about the people that are being responsible for these operations. If I go here in the daily operations, you're going to see exactly something like this. You're going to see how many of my deliveries are late, how many of my receptions, and how many of my internal transfers are late. Here you have a big overview about these KPIs. And you can see directly already the transfers that need to be assigned, so they don't have someone assigned behind, so that you can take actions and start to assign directly from here. Here you're going to have everything that is going to be open for the future. And let's see here, well, we have some people that are having much more than others, and there are a lot of people that didn't have any operation assigned for the reception in this case. Again here, the possibility to enter directly from an analysis that is giving the insights to the action that I need to take, and maybe start to assign to Leo that is much more available in these days. And in few clicks, I can assign this, and when I refresh the page, I will see then the number of non reduced, and Leo is going to take more operations to run. So this is going to be great for the warehouse manager that can really have this stepping back overview and then act directly and take actions on this. And again here, we can go much more in detail and go directly into the transfer itself and analyze all the information linked to this. That's great. But then let's say that at the end of the day, we were able to deliver, to receive everything, everyone is happy. Now is the moment to analyze the performance of your warehouse, to really have a look about how many transfers I did, how much time it took for me. Is someone that is performing better or worse than other? Are there some operations that are really taking me much more time than what I planned? To do this, we created the second dashboard, operation analysis. And in this view, you can already see a difference between the fill rate, on-time delivery, so you can really compare and help this on the negotiation with the final clients. You can have a split about, for example, this product that is having a good fill rate, and this other that are having still a good fill rate, but not a lot of quantity demanded. So you see that it can be easier to have a higher fill rate in these cases. So you can compare different KPIs. You can do it by top, bottom, demand, or number of counts of the deliveries in this case. And here you can continue with your analysis. See the move lines counts by operation type, and again, having the possibility to drill down and enter in this data. You can analyze your internal time. So imagine you are analyzing how much time it takes for you to do cross-dock operations. Well, thanks to this, you can have the right operation assigned and track the time for that and compare it to previous periods to see if you are improving or not on your operations. You can have an understanding about what were the operations in the past, week by week, and also other KPIs. For example, let's imagine that many of your employees had to do stock adjustments, and you really want to analyze and deep dive and understand why we are doing so many adjustments of inventory. Well, here we can have an overview and saying that, for example, this category has been adjusted for this amount of quantities, and you can start your own investigation again and see in which moment this has been adjusted, and so on and so on. But when we talk about logistics, we don't talk only about operations. We talk about some stock that we purchase in some moment that is carrying a value, that is carrying a risk for you and your company. And so you want to understand if you have the right amount of quantity of stock, if you have too much, maybe, something is not being reserved, and you want to have this analysis. This is the reasons why we decided to implement also this third dashboard, warehouse metrics, where in an easy view you can see directly the stock in quantities and in values. You can analyze how much has been reserved, split by location, or split by product, so that you can understand that maybe you purchased too much, and that's why you have all these products here, but none of this is reserved for other operations, like deliveries or production and so on. So it could be something interesting for you to understand and analyze in order to reduce the risk of having too much of your stock that is currently not reserved. And then we decided also to include views about the aging stock. So something, in this case, we don't have much data because it's a test database, but here we see all the stock that has been created on the quarter number 3 of 2024. And here you can see stock that is aging and sitting in your warehouse since long time. So it's stock that is available, that has been created maybe 6 months ago, 1 year ago, and then you want to start your investigation, understanding where this is coming from, and if you click, have the full history about this product, like when it arrived, when it has been moved, and start to question why it's still there and it has not been sold. Of course, if you want to have a clear view about your stock, you need to be aware that you may have some negative stock here and there because of wrong operations. So this is really the moment to keep clean your data and then have an understanding about how many of your lines are negative stock and start to act on this. And understanding in which moment this has been created. Well, this is a specific view, then filtering for all the product here in these views. And understanding and narrowing down and understand when these negative quantities has been created. But now we purchase the stock is sitting in our warehouse. It's actually the moment to analyze when the stock has been purchased and how our vendors are performing. Let's move then to the third and last dashboard here, that is the purchase analysis. We totally revamped the purchase analysis to get an overview about your purchase history, so that you can easily see if you are having seasonality on your purchases, filtering by specific vendor or by specific product. You can have a comparison about the on-time delivery rate for your vendors to analyze their performances and see the ones that are performing better compared to others. Again, grouping by product, product category, and other. And here is a clear review about the amount that you purchase from your vendors. And you can compare by the counts of times that you had to order. For example, here I see that for this specific vendor here, we are ordering 28 times, but always for little money. So it could be interesting for you to analyze this and take actions. Maybe to group the orders and have less orders but with higher values. Or maybe to reduce the impact of this wood corner that is too much responsible for the total purchase, and understand where you purchase all these products and if you can maybe differentiate with other vendors. Again, here the idea is to really have an overview about how your vendors are performing, to challenge them in the moment of the negotiation, to understand how much you can trust them, if you need to take corrective actions in order to deliver to the final clients with the right quantities and the right products. And we come from periods also inflation. So we wanted to have an analysis about the vendor purchasing price over specific time periods. So here is a split by different products, so that you can easily understand where your costs are going. By vendor, by category, by products, you're going to be able to filter this to group and understand exactly what is the variation of your prices during the periods. And again here, a lot of other interesting KPIs that I really encourage you to look and explore. and really understand the benefits of some dashboards that are going to be really out of the shelf, ready for you in the standard version. And by the way, this was our last dashboard that we created. So in case you want to update it later on, you can also do it, just entering in the dashboard, do all the adjustments, and then it's going to be ready for you and up to date here after a refresh. As we always say, one of the motto of Odoo is to help people to do more in less time. I hope that thanks to these dashboards that we created for you, you're going to be able to analyze more in less time. Having something already for you in the base and the standard view, and really being able to skip the button, enter and do your analysis. Again, you cannot measure, and you cannot improve something that has not been measured. So you need to analyze your KPIs, analyze your history in order to improve your operations and better offer some services to your clients. Thank you, everyone. Here there is the pad QR code, so that you feel free to ask questions.
Hello. Hi. Nice job.
Thank you.
So we have a couple questions for you. The first question is maybe a little tricky because it's not exactly related to KPIs. It's about someone who wants to be able to configure a subsidiary company so that they can view the main headquarters stock. Is that something that's possible without giving them complete access to the main headquarters inventory?
Mm-hmm. So if I understood well, we are working in the multi-company, then we will split yeah. Well, we can put in place some access rights, of course. The good thing, I'm not going to show you now, the good thing of the dashboard is that actually it's going to follow all the access rights that you already have for an employee. For example, if I'm an employee, I don't have the view on specific companies. Even if I create the dashboard, it is going to be like the base for your data. I will already have pre-filter based on the configurations for the specific user. So similarly for the companies, if I select multi-companies, I can see then the stock available in multi-companies, or if I filter on a specific subsidiary in this case, I will be able only to see the data on this one.
And then the next question is it possible to have some sort of KPI that merges data from different models? So for example, stock data and price data. So a pivot table with products grouped by their sales price range.
Yeah, that's great. And that's something that actually you can do. There have been several talks also to discuss about the improvements on spreadsheets. So actually, you can use spreadsheets to create the base of your data, so you can take from one pivot that maybe is an inventory, and then combine the data for other PVs that are coming maybe for sales or for other applications, so that you can create the backbone of your dashboard and then decide to visualize something or not. So it's totally something that you can do.
Is it possible to show both I think they put minimum stock line, I'm not sure if they mean the minimum reordering rules, in the same graph as the current and reserve stock?
Yeah, we require again some data manipulation. I think that's it's something that you can put in place. Then it depends also because the minimum and maximum will be linked more to the location. So here we are having a global view by location. So again, you need to do some manipulation in the backend. It's not something that you can do in standard, and we require some adjustments either through some customizations or through some reworks in spreadsheets.
There's another question for another possible KPI. Is it possible to show the stock for each product in 2 different units of measurements?
That's something interesting. At the moment it's not possible, it's not in standard. We are trying to think and also propose this for the version 19, so to have the different comparison. Most of the time when you do like the aggregated view, it's true that you see like comparing maybe kilograms and units, which may not make too much sense. So you can also think about other filters that you can use. Maybe, okay, you just want to analyze specific categories that you group always by specific unit of measures. At the moment we don't have a conversion between the two. Something that you can be put in place with more customizations, and hopefully in version 19 is going to be available.
This question is also a little bit out of scope, which is, so you showed KPIs for logistics. Are there KPIs available for other apps as well in the beginning, or do they have to be created manually?
Dashboard is something that is not new to version 18. It's something that has been existing. What we did for inventory was to do a revamp of the current dashboards. So definitely it already exists for the other applications in the Odoo Enterprise version 18 and previous.
The next question is also a little tricky. I think they would like to know, is there any way to use these KPIs to help reconcile valuation layers against the accounting balance sheet?
Well, first of all, there is already the possibility to have automatic valuation, so there is already some functionalities in Odoo for this, so it creates already some account moves exactly based on stock moves. But anyway, if you need to have an overview, yeah, you can have a KPI specifically or a pivot table specifically for your evaluations, and then you can decide to put it in a pivot and then use it to rework to later on create maybe an import for your account moves, or to just get the understanding about how much stock you currently have on hand so that you can update and create your account moves.
And then the last question that we have is, what is the best way to see stock movement versus valuation report within Odoo?
Well, it depends about what exactly you would like to do, you would like to achieve. Anyway, what I show you is what you can do in standard, then you can always try to customize. So I explained two ways of customizing. One is the easiest one through the spreadsheet, so you bring the data and you start to do all your connections, VLOOKUPs, we can create now new formulas and new measures and so on. Another a bit more advanced way is through Studio, or you do some customization when you use basically referring, you can refer to other parts. So imagine easily you have just information about the product, but I want to create a reference to the product category. So I can create this, add it to the model, and then start to analyze based on these new references that I want to do. For the case of the stock moves, in the valuation layers, we have the stock move that is linked to this one, to this specific valuation layer. So you can bring back some information that are coming from this stock move. For example, the operation type, the source, the destination, and other information.
All right, well that's it. You presented so well, there are no more questions. So.
Great. Anyway, see you at the product booth, or see you around, and I hope that you can enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.